All right, good morning, guys. I'm in an area I've not been in this year at all. I've been doing some logging and stuff up in here, and this year used to be just a nice little four-wheeler ride, just a little bit bigger than a four-wheeler is in width, just the one you sit on, ATV. And they've come through here, and they basically destroyed the road. You have to walk it now. I'm glad I decided to bring my truck instead of the four-wheeler, because I couldn't. They got a big ditch back there and trees in the way, and so what I'm doing today, at the head of this holler, is a place where I've found Bigfoot stuff before, but it's also a good area for ginseng. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk up there. I've got my truck parked back out on the main drag, and do some ginseng. And that looks like a big old looks like big elk tracks there. There are some elk in here. I've got them on video camera. I'm on game cam a time or two. But yeah, there's no more. Used to, you could ride your four-wheeler up here and you're kind of back away from everything. But as you can see, they've destroyed the nice little journey. It goes back here. That was a relaxing little drive. There really wasn't no trees back there on this side till you get way back there. It was big enough to do anything with. So, but I'll cut this camera off, and it ain't too far on up there, maybe half a mile before I can hit the mountains. I have no idea what I'll find in here today, if anything, as far as Bigfoot related. I don't know how bad they've actually logged up on this end, but this will probably be my last season of being able to get in here, because they're doing so much logging in here. My understanding is the plan is that they're going to strip mine it again. It's already been strip mined a time or two already, so they must have found another seam down there somewhere. But you can see they've destroyed this little road, went up through here. But I guess that's part of the progress. At least that's what they tell me. But I'm gonna head on up through here. At least it's easier walking, I guess, right now. I could look at the positive. Before, there was a lot of little weeds and stuff that would get you real wet. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't bring my four-wheeler, because there's no way I could have got it up through here. But hopefully I can have a good day ginsenging. I hurt my knee a little bit yesterday when I slipped on a stick. I stepped on a slick stick, and my left leg flew out kind of back behind me. I didn't fall, but it hyperextended that leg a little bit, so it's a little bit tender this morning. But I'll cut this camera off, and if I find anything up through here, or when I hit the mountains, I'll try to film it or let you know. This is the area where I had to face to face with a mama bear and 4 cubs, and also the area where I seen 9 bear in 2 days, which counts the mama and 4 cubs. So far, all I've seen is some coyote tracks, deer tracks, and the elk track. Looks like the elk walked right up through here. But I'll cut this off and get on up through here and see what we got. And there's a nice bear track. There's his other paw. That's a good one. Well, this is just kind of sad to me. All for profit. There's an old giant big rock. This used to be a beautiful forest all the way through there, as far as you can see. Used to be an old rock wall. Somewhere right in here, or maybe on this side of the road. That was hand-stacked rock that was probably stacked in the 1930s. Well, as you can see, that's destroyed now. So I don't know. I didn't know they'd already had been up in here so much on this end. I thought they was just back on that side and back on that far side. But you can see they've been all up through here. So today I'll have to cover a lot of territory to do some ginsenging. But man, used to you could ride your four-wheeler. Well, About right where this big rock and stuff is about as far as you could bring your four-wheeler before, going on this way, because the road narrowed down. There was some gullies and ruts in it, and you had to walk from here on up. But actually the old road was right, it's right there where that tree and all that stuff is. They've covered it up too. And then there was another split right down here. You could park over on the edge of those woods, and we'd walk and ginseng. And years ago we used to coon hunt up in here. But that's totally destroyed right now. Man might be able to find some ginseng, I don't know. A lot of times out at log like this, first few years you can't find no ginseng because it's all destroyed. And I'm not against people making money and stuff like that, but I sure would have liked to seen this left untouched. I remember used to be an old barn back here, and my papa used to keep cattle back here. Used to be old whiskey still back here too. To be honest with you, this area is very historic, to be honest with you. But now, sadly, it's basically destroyed. That's as far as its history goes. And normally I would park down at the mouth of this creek where it empties into the stream coming down that way, and I'd walk up this creek, up through here ginseng. And so that's probably what I'll do. I'll just go through here and see if I can find anything. I don't hold a whole lot of hope as far as finding anything. And this is also an area where I have found Bigfoot stuff, but as you can see, it's destroyed. Destroyed, it's a shame. But the good part is, wildlife will return. Usually, like we've already seen bear and elk and stuff like that, deer and stuff, they return quickly to an area like this. But from a historical standpoint, it's really disheartening to see the land tore up like this. Places I used to hunt when I was a kid, as a coon hunt with me and my dad, and place I rode up in here with my grandfather years ago when I was just a little bitty kid. Come up here to feed his cattle and his horses. But sadly, all that's gone now. The old historic rock wall's gone. But no sense of crying over spilled milk, I don't guess. So I want to try to venture up that way. I hope it's not too soft there. I may have to go around and see if I can find any ginseng. Wish me luck. Okay, coming through this first little section, which would be to the left of this creek, this little stream, I found 2 bunches of ginseng. One was big enough to dig, the other one was small. So I just left it for seed. And what happens is when you take all the canopy off like we have here, ginseng, which does have to have some sunlight, it don't like a whole lot of sunlight. And when you let a whole lot of sunlight in, it lets all this undergrowth also spring up, and it has to compete. It has to compete for the sunlight, and has to compete for the soil nutrients and things like that. So a lot of times it doesn't come up, or it dies out, or it takes you several years to rebound. And that's kind of what happens when you cut the canopy loose out from over it like that. It lets in too much light. On my way back down, no bad luck, I'm gonna try to go down this side. I used to, on this side here, I would find quite a bit of ginseng, but I haven't been down through there this year. So I didn't know they had actually come up in here and done all this logging, which you can see they've pretty much stripped it. But I expect it to get worse just when they go to actually pushing the dirt and stripping it out and stuff. So, but I hate to see the forest done that way, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I'm just one dude, and it took me years to see the beauty of what we have around here. That our main natural resource, other than people, is our mountains. And when we when they're gone, what have we got left? Right now, I think mountains is one of our main drawing points for tourism, which is going to be in years to come. Even though it's somewhat effective now, in years to come, it's going to be if we don't destroy our mountains, it'll be one of the main staples for this area's economy. But what can you do? Everybody likes concrete. I like mountain and forest land. I like nature. And regardless of what we do as humans, Mother Nature will always find a way. You can pour concrete 3 feet thick, but if you don't keep it maintained and you just let Mother Nature take back over time it'll bust that concrete up and take back over. Same with your property, your house. If you don't keep the grass mowed and keep the weeds trimmed and things like that, eventually Mother Nature takes back over. That's the way it's intended. Mother Nature is very resilient. Our forces are very resilient, so they bounce back. But in the interim, we get to see a bunch of stuff that's tore to pieces, and I kind of don't like it. I'd rather protect it and take care of it. And I'm not against logging or mining for that matter, but this is pretty devastating on historic property, I guess. So, at least it's historic to me. And maybe I'm just whining and complaining, I guess, so don't do no good. But I think I'll look right through here a little bit and see if I can find anything. The landscape, of course, is so much changed to what I normally look like, in, what it looks like for me when I've been in here in the past. But I'm gonna keep scouting around and see what I can find. Maybe I can find a little bit more ginseng. I'd rather dig it and be able to sell it to go for medicine or something than just let it lay here and die because it got too much sun. Okay guys, I found a little bit of ginseng coming up through there. It was fairly healthy looking plants. It had nice red berries on them, so I made sure to plant them in an area I thought where they might survive for next season, or whatever how many years it takes them to come up. I know the same plant don't come up always every year, so I figure whenever they strip this or whatever else they're going to do to it, they probably won't bother the creek area a whole lot. So maybe ginseng will still have a chance around here. So, but I always enjoy ginseng on this side because there's very few snakes. And there seems to be a whole lot of ginseng. I've dug it for years and on this side of the mountain, and I always seem to find it in here. So I'm gonna keep going right up this creek and see what I can find. I've went all the way to the top of this before where the main road is a few times over the years, so I'm just gonna keep going. I don't know if I'll make it back down that other side or not, depending on how far I go. But I got quite a bit of work to do, but I can set up late and do it tonight, I guess. See what is today, Friday. So the wife has to get up about 2:30 or something in the morning, so if I have to, I can set up late and do my work and then go to bed when after she leaves. But I'm gonna continue looking around. I haven't seen any sign other than occasional deer sign or a bear track or something like that. That's about it. Found a lot of spider webs, if that counts for anything. But I want to look around a little bit more and see if I can find anything. Alright guys, I got up here away from the loggins over on that side of the ridge over there. And they logged some up this way, but I got up in here where they've not actually logged. And I'm finding some pretty nice ginseng. That's a pretty nice one. I found 3 or 4 up on the side of this bank here. It's a long journey to get up here, but I enjoy it and I like this area, so I'm gonna dig this baby right here. It's a nice 3-fork. And look around for some more. Anytime you find ginseng, you gotta think about when it does have berries and they fall off, they fall downhill and water washes downhill. So you always, when you do find them, you look above them. If you're coming up, if I was coming up the hill and I found this, I'd look above for more ginseng. If I'm coming down, which I was, I will look below me and over this bank for more ginseng. But I actually come up through there and come around this way, up around here, across this top and down. The main, well, I guess you call it the main road, right up here that they used to drive on. I don't even know if I still drive on it, but yeah, that's that's a nice little stand of ginseng there. So I'm gonna dig that, and then I'll look over the bank for some more. Well, I'm back down here where the logging has taken place. Not found a lot of ginseng, which I kind of expected once I got in here and seen it had been logged. Found some that was fairly healthy, but I'm trying to get my bearings because it looks so much different. Used to, you could go up this way and it looped around under the edge of all this little mountain ridge here, and you could circle back up toward the head and come back down the main. I used to find some ginseng way back on that back side, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the general area where I would have the Bigfoot activity. I would find stick formations and things like that, but now that's over with. But what I think I'll do, I think I'll go up this hill and around and just see where it goes. They may have me blocked off. I'll come down that road. It's a lot of trees, I had to go around it. So I think I'll go up through here and see how much is ginseng as I am Bigfooting, and just looking at what they did logging and getting an idea if there's anything that's going to be here in the next 25 years. But I'll cut this camera off and head up through here, I guess. Well, I come around this other side. Right in there's where I used to find all the ginseng, if I'm not mistaken. But as you can see, they destroyed this side. You can't even, it'd be almost impossible to get up through there because of all the brush. Man, might find some ginseng over in there, but Lord have mercy, couldn't get up through there. So I'll circle back around, see what's going on. Man, I hate that. Oh well, what can you do? And I'm not mistaken, and there it is. Yep, see those rocks right in there? That was that peak that come out, and then I'd find the ginseng right back in there. Yep, but I guess them days are over. Oh well. All right, guys, I'm about done for today. Overall, today was probably a bust. I didn't find much ginseng. I found some, but really all you got to look at is this little creek that goes up there, just what the trees are left up next to the creek till you get up to the top, and then you're up there where the road's at. So it's a lot of pushover up there from like the old coal companies and stuff like that, and so there's not a whole lot out there you can do now. Over on this other side, you can see they've logged it also. That used to be a real good place to ginseng as well too, but now it's done. So I'd say my ginseng days in here from coming in on this way is probably done for my lifetime. I might be able to get on my four-wheeler and go up on top of the mountain and hit some of those ridges or something, but yeah, it's pretty devastated in here right now, so probably no sense of me coming back in here and trying ginseng. I seen where somebody threw out some deer corn, what's way back down the mountain when I first started coming up this way, and it was so much of it still there that didn't look like anything had really ate any of it, but it molded and it was just starting to rot and disintegrate. So I guess the deer's moved on. Most of them, I ain't seen very many deer tracks, a few, but not many. A few coyote tracks. I've seen one coyote track, and I've seen another bear track that was smaller. But the thing is, the wildlife will move back in pretty quick. As you can see, the bushes and stuff like that's already starting to come back up. But see, I didn't know they'd done this back here. I thought they was just working on that side of the mountain. And I thought all this back in here was okay, untouched, but boy, was I wrong. But I'm sitting here, got through eating me a can of vieners, or whatever you want to call them, the food of my people. And I'm going to rest just a few minutes and head back down, get in the truck and go home and do some work, I guess. But yeah, it's totally different now, man. I still couldn't really find where I'd seen some of the Bigfoot stuff back before, but I know it's right in through there somewhere. Maybe on up that way some. But I'd say Bigfoot's not coming in here for a while. But the good part is, you can go to the top of the mountain and drop over, and there's a lot of wilderness over in there. But I know people don't think about that much, but that's just what I do. You know, I guess most people don't even think about Bigfoot much because they think it's just something goofy people made up and they don't, it's not real. But I'm telling you, it's real. I've seen it. But I guess this was Bigfoot's home or play area or someplace he visited occasionally. But I guess he's somewhere else now. But I always keep a check out, through here whenever I'm in here, which probably won't be very often now. Not up in here, anyways. And I'll always look for tracks and stuff like that. Some kind of sign that he's still in here. Well, I'm gonna cut this camera off, sit here and rest a little bit, enjoy the sounds of nature, the birds and all that jazz. Then I'm gonna head out. As I was sitting here, I thought of something else I think I would like to relay to everyone. This general area, actually, where that big rock is behind me there, like I say, used to be a rock wall right through here somewhere. Either there or right out there. Hand-stacked rock wall. This is where my mother was raised as a child. And it's where my papa, her daddy, and they all lived back here. And they raised gardens, and they raised farm animals, and stuff like that. And then later on, after they moved back out of the holler and stuff, they still had barns and cattle and stuff like that up here. They'd come up and feed. But yeah, this is the place where my mama was raised. But even when I was probably, I don't know, 12, 13, 14-year-old, we used to coon hunt up in here. And even when I was younger than that, I'd come up here with my papa and we'd feed the horses and feed the cattle and things like that. But yeah, I thought I would share that little bit of with you too. This is where my mom was raised. Up this old holler playing and running. And I don't know how many of my aunts and uncles. My mom was, I think she's the oldest, so and they probably didn't get a whole lot of it up in here. But still, pretty neat. It's just things change, I guess. All right, 10-4.